Yes, we're going to talk about Deming now because last weekend the W. Edwards Deming Institute hosted its annual fall conference. They do this every year, and this time it was from Purdue University in Lafayette, Indiana. A major theme of this year's conference was the issue of sustainability and how it fits in with Deming's system of profound knowledge that we all know about and talk about a lot. So to talk further about the conference, as well as the ongoing relevance of Dr. Deming's work, we're going to be joined now by Kelly Allen, who's a senior associate at Kelly Allen Associates and an advisory board member of the Deming Institute. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks.
Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. Well, we want to talk about the fall conference a little bit because, from all indications, the conference this year was very, very successful. So you were there. What were some of your takeaways from last weekend at Purdue?
Well, I know there are a bunch of takeaways, but I wanted first to say, listening to your two main stories related to jobs, the welder example, and then to the forklift picker. Both of those things relate to Deming and sustainability. So when you go to a Deming conference, you can expect to notice that the theme, in this case the theme was sustainability, goes beyond the typical because the people who are in attendance and the people who are presenting are using the four lenses of the system of profound knowledge to dial in on those issues in a creative and interesting way. So one of the papers that was presented had to do with true sustainability of product, whether it's clothing, automobiles, you name it, carpeting, so that everything is 100% recyclable. That, believe it or not, relates to the two examples you were just talking about because it's about sustainability, and sustainability of jobs, sustainability of joy in work, in the case of your forklift driver. So at the Deming Conference, you also hear about sustainability related to those kinds of things and to learning, for example. So it's not only the environment, it's not only the carrying capacity of the earth, it's also about organizations and sustaining organizations. And that dialing in of understanding variability, understanding psychology, understanding how to lead a system, and understanding variation. Did I say variation? Variation psychology, leading a system, and theory of knowledge puts a different slant on each of the topics. I don't know if that's helpful or not. I can go into a couple more details.
No, I think that's great. And maybe you can get a little further into it because I'm curious, this event, as we know, always has a great base of attendees. The people are passionate, they're knowledgeable, they're great high-level practitioners. And I'm sure, I have not attended personally, but I'm sure as someone who's attended many times, you would be impressed by what you learn each year and the interaction you have with those people. So what did you learn this year? What did you hear from people and find out that educated you?
There are a number of great takeaways. One of the things, I personally was not familiar with Donella Meadows' work on how to what's called intervene into a system to improve it. And I think she has 12 points of places of intervention. And one of the speakers talked about a lot of her work. So that was a big aha discovery for me. It's probably in part fairly academic, but from what I've seen, it's that academic point of view and the quality of her thinking and the quality of her research is very practical to the kind of examples you were just talking about with what do we do about jobs and pay and training, and what do we do about optimizing joy in work and also drive down costs in an organization without punishing people for things that are happening in the process or the system. So something with a topic like sustainability that also touches on the sustainability of learning and as well as the sustainability of the environment and the carrying capacity of the earth. I'm always struck by how relevant, how potent Dr. Deming's, the famous cycle, the famous way to make things better and better and better. So you can call it magic. You can call it, the Deming chain reaction, which is what it's often referred to. But when you're focusing on improvement and on quality, you end up with higher productivity as well as higher quality, and costs go down. So that was the magic thing that he described that changed the world in a really big way. Yes, the quality tools and understanding what a control chart will tell us, and a Pareto chart and histograms, flow charts, etc. But they all fit under that big umbrella of the Deming chain reaction, that quality and productivity are the same thing if you're using the Deming management method and the quality tools. So in the case of your welder and pay example, if we look at that issue only from the standpoint of, well, is it pay? What are the economics? But if we look at it from a point of view of how can we improve this system to make it more sustainable? And we all control something. So the organization leaders, as well as the welders, and everyone else in the organization control some things. And if they start thinking about the Deming chain reaction, they'll find plan, do, study, act cycles that they can use to make sure that workers can get paid more, if that's one of the outcomes that we're looking for, that costs can be driven down, the quality will continue to improve. That's the magic, and I think it's too often lost or forgotten.
And Kelly, oh, did we lose Kelly?
Maybe. And so that came out again at.
Well, Kelly, I'm glad to hear you talk about sustainability, because we always think about sustainability. I think many people do as one unique environmental aspect, but really you're talking about sustainability, and Deming was as well, that really goes well beyond just simply carrying capacity of the earth and being green. And it's something that's on everybody's lips right now. But how does the Deming system of profound knowledge support the concept of sustainability throughout the entire organization in all the elements of sustainability?
Well, one of the key elements of the Deming management method, the Deming management approach, is understanding the system, seeing into the system, and then leading the system. So you can look at your home and your family as a system. You can look at your neighborhood, your city, your county, your state, your country, the world as a system. And one of the great things about the Deming approach is those few guidelines that he provided, along with the tools for measurement and gaining insight, they scale up and down. They apply everywhere all the time. I mean, that's a big statement, and I'm sure there are some exceptions to that I'm not thinking of at this moment. But that scalability of a few rules gets us to what Dr. Taguchi used to talk about. What's the essential nature? So Deming was very helpful in getting us to the essential nature of the opportunity or the issue, rather than only looking at what presents itself on the surface. So the suggestion to use a control chart for the forklift picker, excellent idea, I would say. Excellent idea. It helps us see into the process, get insight about the process. And it's not only, I would say that the less important part is about trying to evaluate the worker, because the worker doesn't have that much influence. It's about what else will that control chart show us about how we can improve the process. And you mentioned, well, there's some software out there that might help do that. Well, there's a way to look into actually improving things further, which drives down costs, improves the carrying capacity, if you'll allow me to use that, of that organization and of those workers.
Now, Kelly, we're running out of time, so I apologize. But before we go, I know there's another interesting event coming up early in 2014, the 20th Annual International Deming Research Seminar. So quickly, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it'll be a great event. People come from all over the world, and I would encourage your viewers, listeners, subscribers, to consider going to Deming.org, clicking on the upcoming events, and looking at what it takes to submit an abstract. The abstract's only 200 words. Now, you will have to write, if your paper's accepted, it's a juried seminar, but if your paper's accepted, then you'll have to, your abstract's accepted, then you'll have to write a paper for the presentation next year, March 3 and 4. But the whole purpose of that is to look at Dr. Deming's influence. So it can be academic research, it can be business case studies, it can be something related to politics, environment, urban planning, whatever it is. We have papers of all walks of life of people who are coming in who are not highly skilled Deming practitioners, but they understand how to look at the system of profound knowledge, an element of that, whether it's variation or learning or the systems thinking piece, and to apply that. In the papers, the presentations, only 20 minutes.
All right.
So we'd encourage people to apply, submit those abstracts by November 23rd, and it's an opportunity to participate in a great event in New York City and to learn and to just share in the idea exchange. Very, very exciting.
Terrific. Well, thanks. Kelly Ellen, Senior
Associate with Kelly Allen
Senior
Associates.
Associate with Kelly Allen Associates. I appreciate it.
That's right.
Kelly, thanks for joining us today, and great information. You mentioned submitting papers. Is there a website?
Deming.org.
Yeah,
Deming.org. Okay.
Yep, go right at that. Great. Well, Kelly, thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll see you down the road and continue to do that great work.
Thank you. See you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Talk to you soon.